It's kind of hard to explain because some people think that it's more like a physical attribute that people have.
Mm-hmm.
When actually, when people think of it like that, it limits it. It makes it sound like only certain people have it instead of everyone having it. But that's basically it. It just allows you to become a Buddha, and everyone like has it. No matter how bad you are or good you are, you still have the capability of it.
So what do you think about that concept?
I like the concept because it makes it sound like you always get another chance. Even if you do live a horrible life in this one, you always get another chance to become a Buddha in the next.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, you have anything to say?
Sure. Just to add on to what she said, the concept of the Buddha nature began in India between 200 and 250 CE.
Yeah.
And it's based on sayings from Buddha Gautama himself, which refer to the luminous mind.
Yeah.
The luminous mind is mentioned in Anguttara Nikaya Sutra, one of the sutras with discourses from the Buddha.
Yeah.
And one of the lines said, "Luminous, monks, is the mind and is defiled by incoming defilements." So he's basically saying that the mind in its pure state is luminous, but when it's attacked by outside elements, distractions, or attachments, it becomes defiled or loses its natural Buddha-like qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went on to talk about the two truths as well, saying that the normal consciousness is part of the conventional truth, and it can be defiled by greed, exceptions, craving, jealousy, all those things. And the Buddha nature is part of the ultimate truth, an undefiled state of mind where the ebb and flow of conscious thought does not exist.
Okay. That's all you have? Okay. Put this right here. Put this, let me hold on. Okay, before I move it on this. Okay, anyway, here. So you understand briefly about the what you call Buddha nature, right? But in practical sense, how you understand? It's just the ideal, it's just the idea.
We're talking about between the two.
Yeah.
Conventional truth and
yes, yes, right. That's why I want to say this game zone. Remember I told you, investment game zone. We play with the game,
Rise and fall.
rise and fall,
Yeah.
like, dislike, so winner and loser, right? Happy and sadness and so forth. That's the game zone, right? And what happens when we are in this game zone? What do you think? Up and down zone. What do you think?
A lot of, well, we stay in the cycle for one thing.
Yeah, cycle of what? Anxiety, stress,
All of that, yeah.
anxiety, and so forth, right? In this game zone, right?
Yes.
It's common sense. When you play with the games, you go with flow, right? If you're a winner, you so oversat. You don't remember people when they watch football, right? When their team, right, won the games, they're so excited. They were overjoyed, right?
It was just like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Are you guys watching this?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
You see that? That's what I call game zone. Is that right? And in the game zone, we play with stress. We play with anxiety. We play with, we have stress, anxiety, we overjoy and so forth. That's your choice. That's our choice. And in the safe zone, here, ultimate zone, here, look at here. That's what we call Buddha nature. And let me show you here. That's, before I move on, before I move on, me see here. Yeah, before you read this one, we know, right? Let's say we define ourselves. We have this name, right? We have this status, we have this position, and so forth and so forth. Is that real? Is that real?
Yeah.
Maybe conventionally, right? Yeah, we are teacher, professor, student, and so forth and so forth. But that kind of names, that kind of identity, that kind of status may be changed movement by movement, right? From periods by periods, right? So, but have you ever asked who you are?
I imagine so. I think everybody has always wondered, who am I?
Yeah, and of course we don't talk much about the purpose, but this kind of identity, this kind of status, just in the temporary or in the conventional ways of addressing each other, understand or recognize ourselves, right? Make sense? But in order to live the life according to Buddhist view, in order to live the life, a meaningful lives, we have to be mindful. Like you can ask question, how could you enrich your memories? Be mindful.
Yeah.
And here, please don't, let me see, I don't want to waste. That's what we call the all components of mindfulness. If we live with the mindful way, there's three items, the three components: awareness, present-centeredness, and acceptance. That is what they call the definition of mindfulness. That's in the book of Mindfulness and Psychotherapies. I learned this book several years ago. It's very interesting. This is the concrete definition of mindfulness. It's the concrete definition of what we call here Buddha nature. If you want to stay in the safe zone. Yes?
Is there such thing as a balance between the two?
Actually, this balance there. This is balance. This is that's what I call safe zone.
Okay. So say for instance, like, I like to look at a basketball game, University of Louisville, and I get a lot of anxieties of what they've been playing lately. So
you are in the beginning zone.
yes, but that's part of life. Part of my life, and I enjoy it.
That's no problem. No, this is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Pizza Hut. Nothing wrong with the games. Nothing wrong with the Super Bowl. Nothing wrong. The only thing is whether we can control ourselves or not. That's the point. You see that? I told you. I don't know where I told you the story that when it was at the airport. So they asked me whether they think that I came from the forest.
Yeah.
I do not use laptop. There's nothing wrong with laptop. Only thing how we use them. Whether we control the condition or let condition control us. That's the point. Make sense? Right? So that's the reason why I want to bring up this kind of what we call mindfulness here. And that when the Buddha achieved that level, that state of mind, he has full awareness. With full awareness, present-centeredness, and acceptance. Now, let me give you an example, okay? Why sometimes we feel our life is empty. Empty is different from Buddhist emptiness, understand that? Right? Sometimes we feel our life is empty. Why? Because we're not here. We stay, that we think about the past. And the future, we're not here. Make sense? We get lost in the present moment. Right? We read something or something wrong, we're so regretful. Or we think about future. We make so many plans for the future, but we forget this one here. And we're not aware. While we're driving, we're texting. We're driving, we're eating. While we're driving, we're talking on the phone. Make sense? And we have the habit, right? Have habit of eating, let's say dinner or lunch, While we eating, we talk. Is that right? And we're not mindful. That's why we could not taste the food that even we cook ourselves, or some of our members, our family members, that our mother, grandmother, and so forth, whoever cook for us, we could not taste us food well. And we carry a conversation. And even like when we type, when we send emails to someone else, right? And what happened if while we type an email and we talk on the phone, sometimes we type wrong email. It's happened?
Yeah.
Because we get lost of the awareness of the present moment. Make sense? And the reason why we don't know what's something happening, we don't accept that. Like I told you many times, that if you, let's say you had too much expectation for your test, and what happens when you receive the test back, you don't accept your grade, because it's C or D. You reject that, you fight for that. That's why stress comes from. That's why we play the games here. You see that? So in Buddhist view, that's practical views of Buddha nature. You understand that?
Practical views of
So you stay in the safe zone here with your own mindfulness. Make sense now? So you don't need to attend Nirvana, go to Buddha land, but here now, you live here now, you are mindful what you're doing, and you accept things as the way they are. You're more peaceful. That is Buddhist religious approach. You understand that now? Okay? Right. So this book is that's why now mindfulness is been used in the psychotherapies. And this is by this kind of concrete definition.
So that's where they got that from. That's where that
that's
originated from. That's where that started from, the Buddhist mindfulness. Okay.
So this is the book here. It's this very nice book. Okay, so the next one. Okay, let's go to Tantric channel. Yeah, what do you have there?
Go ahead and stop me if I start going in like the wrong direction.
That's okay, no
But I
problem.
have Tantra is the action of channeling divine energies, and Tantra teaches there's nothing more sacred than the temple of the body. There are 5 elements within the body: gas, air, water, fire, and earth. And there are 9 gates, upper and lower divisions, and the upper constitutes like the mouth, nose, and ears, and the lower are orifice below the waist, and these are openings where the spirit can enter and exit the body.
Wow, that's much with your information.
Okay. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
There are 3 rivers. There's the great one, which is along the middle of the spine to the top of the head. And there's a right and left river as well. The right is solar energy that enters and flows to the body, and then the left is Luna energy. And when you reach the tantric state, the energy rises from the center and goes through the spine to the temple, and the right and left rivers are said to meet in the temple region, and it allows enlightenment.
Okay.
And then I have the 3 outer divisions of Tantra. I'm not sure what
That's
role.
okay. You can explain too.
They have Kriya Yoga, which is associated with rituals, and Charya Tantra, which places emphasis on obtaining liberation through meditation, and Yoga Tantra. It said it was the highest of the tantras. I'm not sure what it meant by highest, if it meant it was most important, or if it was the most physical. That one kind
That's
of
all?
confuses me. Yeah.
So what do you learn from this information? That's real or legitimate theories?
I don't know.
Okay. In some traditions, right, they view this body is sacred, right? Was that right?
Yes.
I think in Christian tradition or Catholic tradition, when we get married, that's a sacred action, right? Activities, right? In Tibetan traditions, this body is sacred too. It has so many channels, and what they call the chakra. You guys know before?
Chakra.
Chakra. like the energy in each point of our body, along our spine, from the top, bottom up to the top. The crown energy, throat energy, heart energy, and so forth. If we know how to use this energy, we would develop the wisdom. That is one aspect of Buddhist practice, and like you mentioned right here, especially, Tibetan tradition, they specialize in this tradition, not me. I don't know much. I just the information. They have what called the water, smell, fire, and so on. They have the channel of consciousness, the wind channel, and the dread drop channel, the wide drop channel, and so forth. There's a number of the channel here. So when they visualize, they visualize deities and so forth. They want to have that type of red channel or wind channel to circulate smoothly in their body. That's the way they can, in their view, attain enlightenment or develop the wisdom. That's the meaning. Make sense? So when you see the monk move the mudra, you know mudra? You know what's the mudra? No, you don't understand the mudra? Oh. Here, you see that? The mudra here? Right? You see that? That's called mudra. The hand, the movement of hand, of fingers, that's called mudra. So when you see especially the Tibetan monks, someone's come to the Tibetan center, right? When they recite the mantra and move when they use something of this kind of mudra, that's the way how they can move the channel around, like the wind channel, the red drop channel, and so forth. You understand that?
You mean they can move things physically?
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me put it this way. Have you guys done acupuncture before?
Acupuncture?
You done?
I'm a massage therapist. I can do acupressure.
What's that?
Acupressure and acupuncture.
Acupuncture? You do that?
I can do it, yeah.
Oh, really? Can you tell them about the pressure
Pressure
point?
points.
Oh.
Your body has pressure points throughout them, and they take needles and based off your chakras and your pressure points and the energy that's stored in your body, you can put it along your ears for if you want to lose weight. If you are infertile, they can put it along their feet so the women can get pregnant. There's different areas of the body that they that go through the rest of your body through energy, and you can put the needles inside of there depending on what you want to do or where your pain is at. It can goes through your nerve endings and your sensories to relieve pain and stuff like that.
So is this brand new for you guys? Who knows acupuncture before? Oh, you have it? You know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard of it. I've never done it.
You never done, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard of it.
Okay. You work in the hospital, you seen people do that kind of acupuncture?
No.
No, okay. That is the Eastern tradition. So anyway, according to, yes, either the Tibetan traditions or the Chinese tradition, in our body, there's all kind of veins, all kind of channel. And the reason why we're sick, because some blockage. Yeah, that's right, some blockage in our channel. So you know how to do that one, right? You use with the needles too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I got my associate's degree in healthcare support as associative science with massage therapy.
Oh, really?
My instructor was actually an Eastern medicine doctor, and she taught us how to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she
So-
practices in Evansville.
So how long did it take you to
2
be
years.
certified? 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to.
It's hard. I had to take kinesiology, physical science, and I'm one anatomy too.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There's some point. Let's say it's still danger, right?
Uh-huh.
If you use the needle to put on your forehead, because your nerves are around your brain, right?
You can use magnets too. They use magnets too. Sometimes they'll put it on there so that the needles don't, because some people don't want to have the needles stuck in their skin, so they actually have magnets now that will stick to you.
Oh, the magnet. Oh, it's better now.
A lot of
Right.
shoulder, and people with back pain, they'll get the magnets up there.
Oh.
There's
It's-
chakras up their back and the channel in the back
I
so
see.
that their
It's-
spine.
But it doesn't work much like the
doesn't work as well.
the needles, right?
Right.
Yes.
So that works, huh?
That I think depends on the person. I mean, I know a lady who she has the magnets on her back all the time. She swears them down they work. She swears them down. If she doesn't have the magnets, then she can't move around or whatever. So I think it just depends on the person. I did the weight loss on my husband, and he did lose 20 pounds. But I mean, if you tell somebody they're going to lose weight, they might lose weight too.
I mean, okay, so, but the needles do work, I mean, what you do.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the magnets, but the needles, that actually works?
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, this is for 1,000 years. They in Chinese tradition, they would call the Chinese.
There's actually alternative medicine doctors that are, they're doctors just like Western doctors are called Eastern doctors. Like the lady that taught us was an Eastern doctor. She studied overseas and she's an Eastern medicine doctor, just like a Western medicine, except for she doesn't prescribe medication. Instead, she prescribes like, like herbs to take and things to not eat and things to eat to cure, because you can eat certain things and cure a ear infection just like you can take an antibiotic and cure a ear infection, or you can have work done on your body like the acupressure or the massage therapies and things like that to have yourself to get cured too. So it does work. I mean, there's a science behind it.
Yeah,
Like,
and who's there? Let me see. What do you call it? Pressure point.
Uh-huh. They have charts, like we have a
Yes.
chart that we learned off of.
Here, you see that?
that's-
Yeah, pressure point.
Yeah, we had to learn like all the nerves. You had to learn all the nerves and
Yes,
everything in the body so that you don't.
Yeah, because if you
Blood.
poke the needles in the wrong place,
Yeah.
you may kill people.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and underneath of your foot, this is all kind of nerves there, all kind of channel there. You see that's this one here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, I thought that you guys probably know all this, but it sounds new. Oh, really? Okay. Anyway, let's go back here. So that's why they have in the Buddhist tradition, the chakra or the time to channel there. Yeah. And again, in the Eastern traditions, the reason why we're sick because there's some blockage within the channel that could not flow smoothly. It's common sense, right? Let's say, someone who has heart attack, right? What happened? Yeah, blood pressure vessel is blocked, right? So this is why the blood could not go out up to the brain, and then they have the heart attack, right? So anyway, so go back here. We have yes, I mean when we have syncope. What do we have there?
It's a Shinhong Buddhist is a Buddhist doctrine and teachings that came during the Heian period, which was 794 to 1185. Yes. When a Buddhist monk named
Kukai.
Kukai traveled to
Japanese,
China in 804 to study Eros.
A Tantric tradition, we can say.
Yeah, practices in China. He was a very famous student, or he was a very favorite student of the legendary Amugara something, and learned to and returned to Japan as his lineage and Dharma successor. But it's a type of Buddhism, is one of the mainstream major schools of Japanese Buddhism, and one of the few surviving Erosic Buddhist.
Tantric tradition.
Yes.
This is a little different from Tibetan, but there's some similar elements there.
But it originally came from India to China
Yeah.
through traveling such monks and Amagara and the boy dude.
Cool guy. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Joe, you have anything to add?
Well, basically, and what she said, I went to China to practice and learn Buddhism and came back with it and spread it out in Japan. And the teachings of Shingon are based on early Buddhist Tantra.
Yeah.
So like
This is it's similar to Tibetan tradition, but Tibetan tradition they add more elements later on. Okay. They want to talk briefly, but the thing that is really important today, they want to talk the last one, Tibetan book of them. Okay, the next one. Let's see, the next one. Asia, what do we have for Guru?
What I found was kind of seemed like it was more related to Hinduism. So I don't know if this is right, but well, in Hinduism, the ultimate goal of religious life is to escape samsara, which is the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. And to do this, you reunite with the soul of Brahman. And the means to do this is called yoga. And by applying mental techniques that lead to altered states of consciousness, and by physically training the body, the spiritual seeker attempts to experience the reality of the soul within and eliminate bad karma.
Okay.
And to do this type of yoga, you have to have a guru, which is a spiritual teacher who can monitor the disciples' development and lead him or her toward their final release.
Okay, thank you. What do you have?
Guru yoga.
Yeah.
What I found was it is excuse me. You have this guru. The guru teacher is, from my understanding, is people saw them as kinder than a Buddha himself because they're experiencing him personally. Excuse me. And they, you have to have a guru teacher in order to follow the path of
This is Buddhism.
yeah, the path of Buddhism. And you know, this is these teachers come from a lineage.
Lineage.
Yeah, lineage of teachers from the beginning of Buddhism. And as she was talking about the Tantra yoga, they emphasized that too. They emphasized the oneness, coming to oneness of the self, and I'm kind of choked up right now.
Let me understand.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get some water.
Okay, yeah, please. Okay, now let me ask you, do you have anyone of you work on your master degree or PhD degree here? Are you working on master degree, right? You have any local advisor? You work with your advisor or professors for your thesis?
Oh, yeah, I'll have to have a thesis committee.
Oh, thesis committee, and you work with some of your professors, right?
Yeah, with professors, yeah.
It's similar, right? In Buddhist tradition, you work with your teacher, guru, and you follow his or her advice. It's common sense, right? And plus, okay, so that's the idea. I want to talk short, and I need to talk more about this one here. How about Lady Taylor? Taylor is here? Oh, no, he's not here. Lady Yoga, you know Lady? Lady is, let me talk to you. Lady, in Tibetan tradition, Lady is some kind of celestial beings. There's all kinds of celestial beings. They have green tiger, or some kind of let me put it this way, compassionate celestial beings, or some fearful. Look at it like this one, fearful tiger. It's a fearful tiger here, and there's this Buddhist element coming down too. That's just different from Anyway, so basically, according to the tradition, because it's the latest developments of Mahayana Buddhist traditions, so it assimilates with Hindu traditions. The reason why it assimilates some of Hindu deities. Let me put this way for you to understand. What is your model of life?
And it's kind of hard to explain because some people think that it's more like a physical attribute that people have, when actually when people think of it like that, it limits it. It makes it sound like only certain people have it instead of everyone having it. But that's basically it. It just allows you to become a Buddha, and everyone like has it. No matter how bad you are or good you are, you still have the capability of it.
So what do you think about that concept?
I like the concept because it makes it sound like you always get another chance. Even if you do live a horrible life in this one, you always get another chance to become a Buddha in the next.
Okay. Yes, you have anything to say?
Sure. Just to add on to what she said, the concept of the Buddha nature began in India between 200 and 250 CE.
Yeah.
It's based on sayings from Buddha Gautama himself, which refer to the luminous mind.
Yeah.
The luminous mind is mentioned in Anguttara Nikaya Sutra, one of the sutras with discourses from the Buddha.
Yeah.
And one of the lines said, "Luminous, monks, is the mind, and is defiled by incoming."
That's all you have? Okay. Put this one here. Put this, let me go out this one. Okay, before
Defilements. So he's basically saying that the mind in its pure state is luminous, but when it's attacked by outside elements, distractions, or attachments, it becomes defiled or loses its natural Buddha-like qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went on to talk about the two truths as well, saying that the normal consciousness is part of the conventional truth, and it can be defiled by greed, exceptions, craving, jealousy, all those things. And the Buddha nature is part of the ultimate truth, an undefiled state of mind where the ebb and flow of conscious thought does not exist.
Okay. One way on this. Okay, anyway, here. So you understand briefly about the what you call Buddha nature, right? But in practical sense, how you understand? It's just the ideal? It's just the idea?
We're talking about between the two, conventional truth and
yes, like that. That's why I want to say this game zone. Remember I told you, Westman game zone. We play with the game,
Rise
right?
and fall.